Part 49. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 481. The Blood Wolf Order is the treasure of the Wolf Totem Empire. It has two effects, but only one can be activated at a time. First, when the user has the Blood Wolf bloodline, it can be activated to double all of his attributes, lasting for 5 minutes, with a cooldown of 10 minutes. Second, when the opponent has the Blood Wolf bloodline, it can weaken the opponent, lasting for 5 minutes, with a cooldown of 10 minutes. Roar. Lang Yu used the first effect, accompanied by a fierce roar, and a blood-colored werewolf phantom appeared around Lang Yu. At this moment, he was like wearing a blood-colored battlesuit, majestic and murderous. Hiss. Long Yan was sweating profusely and took a breath of cold air. Even the green dragon under him was affected by the strong murderous aura and trembled slightly. They clearly felt that Lang Yu was now very different from before. Swish. With a move of divine power, Lang Yu was wearing a blood-colored battle suit and his figure soared to 3 meters high. Gale Thunder. Lang Yu held the sword in both hands, turned around suddenly, stirred up a violent whirlwind, and slashed Long Yan and Green Dragon fiercely. With this move alone, Long Yan lost more than half of his blood. As for the Green Dragon, it screamed, blood gushed out, and was killed instantly, and a large number of items exploded and fell down with the dragon corpse. With the fall of the Green Dragon, Long Yan lost his last dragon pet, and all his Dragon Knight's innate skills could not be activated. The special effect of riding the dragon, all attributes add 30%, also disappeared. At this time, his attribute recovery was no different from that of an ordinary god-level strongman. Damn it, if the Iron Blackthorn dragon was still there, I could still use the dragon's power, how could I fail now? Long Yan gritted his teeth, and a huge hatred for Yang Tian rose in his heart. Feeling Lang Yu's majestic killing intent, Long Yan felt like he was facing a great enemy, and cold sweats ran down his face. He turned around quickly, his fighting spirit turned into wings, and leaped back. What? The next moment, Long Yan exclaimed again. Because he found that even though he had transformed his Do-Chi into wings, Lang Yu was still in the Do-Chi lotus form, but he still caught up with him. His Do-Chi transformed into wings, which increased his movement speed by 80%. And the first effect of Lang Yu's Blood Wolf order was to double all attributes, including agility. Swish. Lang Yu was wearing a blood-colored battle suit, with Do-Chi lotus surging around him and holding a giant sword. He looked like an irresistible demon. He slashed with the sword expressionlessly, blood gushed out, and Long Yan fell. Wow, isn't Lang Yu too scary? He was beaten by Long Yan before, and then he took out a token, and his fighting power soared instantly, and he killed Long Yan in just a few moves. Terrible, this is really terrible. Lang Yu is not a god now, but a super god. Well, the most terrifying thing is his speed. You have to know that Long Yan has already transformed his fighting spirit into wings, but Lang Yu can still catch up easily, which is incredible. Humph, Long Yan is a typical villain who dies because of talking too much. If he doesn't compete and doesn't expose his tactics, it is likely that they will win 3 against 1. 3 against 1? What a joke, you don't take my brother Shui seriously. Are you so sure that seeing an Emperor Shinwu can punish brother Shui? Besides, even if it's 3 against 1, Lang Yu now probably won't lose, right? The scene in front of them turned rapidly, making millions of viewers on the scene boil, and the audience in many live broadcast rooms also swiped the barrage to vent their excitement. At this moment, in everyone's mind, Lang Yu has become a super god. Boom. At this moment, a riot suddenly broke out at the scene. Countless spectators ran towards the place where Long Yan's body fell with crazy faces, and they even fought each other. Why? Because the fall of the god means that there will be a divine power bursting out. Now there are millions of spectators, their original intention is to come to watch the show and cheer for Yang Tian. On the surface, although they did not intend to help Yang Tian, they are still on the same front with Yang Tian and others. But now, the divine power has aroused their endless greed. Players who use the divine power will definitely become gods after level 200. Who can resist this temptation? Those beasts. Shameless. Not helping, just coming to watch the show, now they actually want to covet the divine power. The crazy scene of millions of spectators at the scene immediately made countless anchors and viewers angry and cursed in their hearts. Whoosh! Suddenly, Lang Yu landed on the ground, kicking up a circle of dust. He was just between everyone and Long Yan's body. At this time, he still maintained a height of 3 meters, wearing a blood-colored battle suit, with fighting spirit lotuses surging around him, holding a bloody giant sword, as majestic and murderous as a demon god. Hiss! Everyone gasped and hurriedly stopped, with a look of horror and cold sweat on their faces. It's terrible, too terrible. He was at a high place before, and now facing him at close range, we can really feel the murderous aura on him. Everyone trembled in their hearts and shivered. Humph, you guys want to get involved in the godhood? Lang Yu looked down at everyone with cold eyes. No, sir, we dare not, we will leave now. Among the crowd, there are also smart guys who laughed and turned to retreat. It's too late. However, Lang Yu's cold voice like a demon god made their hearts suddenly cold. Call out. With the power of God, Lang Yu's body became larger again, and then he began to slaughter crazily. In the blink of an eye, he killed thousands of people, blood flowed like a river, and countless items exploded and piled up on the ground. At the scene, countless people screamed. Good kill, happy. In many live broadcast rooms, there were countless barrages of applause. On the other side, Yang Tian and Xing, the battlefield of Emperor Shenwu. At this time, Yang Tian had summoned hundreds of Black Knights, and he also transformed into a Black Knight and mixed in the crowd. However, he had the emblem and red name of the Chinese theater on his head, and the blue fighting lotus was surging around him. There was also a scarlet shield outside, which was simply a cover-up. Of course, Yang Tian knew this in his heart. The reason why he did this was just to guard against Xing and make it difficult for him to hook him. After all, if he was hooked now, he would almost certainly die. And the fact was just as Yang Tian expected. During this period, Xing made many moves, but only hooked ordinary Black Knights, not him. Damn it, this guy has too many tricks. Xing cursed inwardly, as if he was facing a great enemy. Although he didn't know what happened over there, he knew that Long Yan had fallen, and he believed that Lang Yu would come to help Yang Tian soon. If he and Emperor Shenwu couldn't kill Yang Tian as soon as possible, the consequences would be difficult to predict. However, even though he knew about this kind of thing, he couldn't do anything about Yang Tian at the moment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 482. Humph, at the critical moment, I still have to rely on myself. The Emperor Shenwu snorted coldly, and then shouted at Yang Tian, Muddy water, do you think that I can't deal with you just because you summoned a bunch of garbage? Suddenly, the Emperor Shenwu raised the dragon-slashing sword with both hands above his head, and a majestic flame surged from the tip of the sword, burning the surrounding air, crackling. Then, he rushed out wildly, and his hands seemed to carry a force of 10,000 pounds to slash at Yang Tian. It's finally here. Seeing this, Yang Tian sneered in his heart. He had been guarding against the big move of the Emperor Shenwu, and he naturally responded at the moment. Undead transfer. Suddenly, Yang Tian's figure disappeared out of thin air in the army of Black Knights, and was replaced by a huge bone dragon. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Almost at the same time, the Emperor Shenwu slashed with a sword, and the flames gushed out like a volcanic eruption, sweeping in all directions, and in the blink of an eye, a huge flame vortex with a radius of 100 yards was formed. In the vortex of flames, The army of Black Knights, including the poor bone dragon, exploded instantly, turning into countless broken bones and falling down. Damn it, let that bastard escape again. The Emperor of Shinwu cursed and looked around, looking for Yang Tian's figure. At this time, Yang Tian exchanged positions with the bone dragon and came to the battlefield on Huang Mao's side. Although this battle was fierce, it has only been a few minutes since the beginning. At this time, there are still 3 bone dragons with residual blood on this battlefield, and Huang Mao, Xianyu and Long Er and Lang Ling are still alive. The reason why the 3 bone dragons have residual blood is mainly because they attract the enemy's firepower, which is why Huang Mao and others can survive. As for the enemy, there are still 10 Saint Kings, and there are less than 50 Immortal Kings, and all of them are residual blood. Demon subduing net. Yang Tian moved to find the right angle and cast a huge spider web with a range of 100 yards. In the shocked eyes of many enemy warriors, the spider webs in the sky caught them all. Swoosh! Yang Tian quickly descended while collecting the net. Coincidentally, the battlefield where Huang Mao and others were fighting against the enemy warriors, and the battlefield where Xiaofei, Long Lu, Qin Yu and others were fighting against the enemy soldiers, were exactly on the same horizontal line. However, one was in the sky and the other was on land. Yang Tian descended and came to the center of the battlefield on land. He pulled with his left hand, and dozens of figures of warriors in the spider web were forced to overlap into one figure and were forcibly pulled in front of him. With a wave of his big hand, extreme summoning. Corpse explosion. Boom. After the horrible explosion, an endless wave of air swept out, spreading more than 100 yards in an instant, blowing the hair of Yang Tian and the surrounding friendly forces upright. The ground around them all cracked, and countless gravels and smoke rose up, and a terrifying mushroom cloud rose in the air. In the mushroom cloud, countless blood balls flew out and rushed towards Yang Tian's body, refreshing the strength of Yang Tian's scarlet shield. Strength, 2,250 trillion. Yang Tian's attack, of course, would not harm friendly forces. Because of this, Xiaofei, Long Lu, Qin Yu and others, and even the Water Alliance army were all safe and sound. On the other side, the dozens of strong men caught by Yang Tian with the demon subduing net, and even the hundreds of thousands of soldiers of the Shinwu Empire within the range of the corpse explosion, were killed instantly. On the land battlefield, the Shinwu Empire had a total of 100,000 soldiers, but they were killed by Xiaofei, Qin Yu and others, leaving only about 10,000 people. Yang Tian's corpse explosion killed hundreds of people in the range. Corpse explosion is one of Yang Tian's strongest skills. The damage is off the charts, and the range is also very large. One wave of explosions killed hundreds of opponents, and the total damage was unimaginable. As a result, Yang Tian's shield strength is as high as 2,250 trillion. This is really terrifying. You know, even a god-level strongman has only 2 or 3 trillion lives. What's more terrifying is that Yang Tian is currently in the form of Doqi turning into wings. If he is in the Doqi lotus form, the damage caused by his corpse explosion will be even higher, and the shield strength will be stronger. In fact, as early as the moment Lang Yu killed Long Yan, Yang Tian knew that the dynasty of the Shinwu Empire was destroyed. Next, he will definitely not deal with the Shinwu Emperor. This wave of undead transfer, spiritual operation to this battlefield, corpse explosion refresh shield strength, is to guard against Lang Yu. As the saying goes, don't be afraid of 10,000, just be afraid of one. He naturally has to keep a hand. The scarlet shield will disappear 5 seconds after leaving the battle. In order to maintain the shield, he summoned 100 hell 3-headed dogs again and ordered them to attack the remaining enemies on this battlefield. The attack of his undead is equivalent to his attack, so there is naturally no state of leaving the battle. Brother Shui, after witnessing Yang Tian's horrific outburst, Xiaofei, Qin Yu and others could not help but shout excitedly, and those who were once members of the Shui League were even more moved to tears. I never thought that after leaving the Shui League, I would have the opportunity to fight side by side with Brother Shui. When they thought of this, many members of the Shui League were suddenly filled with mixed feelings. I'll leave it to you here. Oh. Yang Tian left a sentence, and the fighting spirit wings behind him spread out, and he took off again, flying towards Zhongxing and the Emperor Xinwu in the sky. On the other side, Lang Yu had already killed all the spectators who coveted the godhood, and many people had already fled the battlefield and watched from a distance. When he came to Long Yan's body, Lang Yu only took the godhood and didn't look at the other items again. Whoosh! Lang Yu took off into the air and flew towards the battlefield in the sky. During the flight, his body shrank and returned to its original size. The next scene. Yang Tian and Lang Yu stood shoulder to shoulder, confronting Xing and Emperor Xinwu in mid-air. 2v2. It's over, the Xinwu Empire is over, that Lang Yu is too terrible, even overshadowing Brother Shui's brilliance. Yes, Yang Tian killed Emperor Suanwu and destroyed the Suanwu Empire before. I suspect it was not Brother Shui who did it alone. I suspect that it was Lang Yu who beat Emperor Suanwu to a low health, and Brother Shui just took the head. It's indeed possible. Alas, Brother Shui is only at the Saint King level, he is already very strong. It's a pity that Lang Yu is too abnormal, stealing the limelight from my Brother Shui. Seeing the scene in front of them, many viewers in the live broadcast room sighed. Now, Lang Yu's werewolf form, wearing a blood-colored battle suit, holding a giant sword, like a demon god, has been deeply engraved in their hearts. On the other side, outside the battlefield, Emily stood on the roof of a building on the city road. At this moment, her eyes were filled with shock, helplessness, and even confusion. I didn't expect that kid to grow to this level, old man, he is really worthy of being your disciple. You refuse to admit defeat even if you die, do you still want your disciple to fight me? The shock in Emily's eyes gradually faded, and then, she smiled bitterly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 483. Mo Fan and Mo Li are both competitive people. Although they have feelings for each other, neither of them is willing to give in to the other. Their best years of youth have passed in the competition with each other, so that they missed their fate. Now that Mo Fan has passed away, Mo Li is nearly 100 years old, but her competitive heart has not diminished with age. At this moment, she herself can't believe that she actually wants to compete with Yang Tian. Of course, Yang Tian's identity as the successor of Master Mo Fan accounts for a large part of the factor. Now that the Xinwu Empire is doomed and will be destroyed immediately, what should I do? Looking at the battlefield in front of him, Mo Li sighed. She kept her promise. At least she would not take action today, even if the country was destroyed. This is her helplessness. And she is not clear about her future direction. This is her confusion. How could this happen? How could this happen? The Emperor of Xinwu stared at Yang Tian Lang Yu, his eyes were extremely red, and he was murderous. He originally thought that he could easily annihilate Yang Tian Lang Yu. But the current ending is completely opposite to what he expected. Long Yan is dead. A dozen of his Saint King marshals are dead, and hundreds of immortal king generals and thousands of spirit king generals are all dead. Even the 100,000 elite soldiers and generals of his Xinwu Empire are almost dead. This ending is unbearable for him. Even if he succeeds in killing Yang Tian Lang Yu now, I am afraid he will not be able to laugh, because the foundation of the Xinwu Empire has been destroyed, and it is only a matter of time before the country is destroyed. Lang Yu, Emperor Xinwu waved his sword, pointed at Lang Yu from a distance, and shouted, "It was Emperor Suanwu who destroyed the Wolf Totem Empire. Emperor Suanwu died, and the Suanwu Empire was destroyed. You have also avenged yourself. Why do you still treat me like this? Nonsense. Where you are standing now is the territory of my wolf totem empire. You are the invader. Do you understand your position? Lang Yu sneered. Emperor Shinwei was stunned, and after reacting, he regretted it even more. It's over, Emperor Shinwei is actually mad. In many live broadcast rooms, the barrage was instantly soaring. Muddy water. No matter what, this emperor will kill you first. Suddenly, Emperor Shinwei roared, his fighting spirit turned into wings, holding the dragon-slaying sword, and rushed towards Yang Tian. The recovery ability of the god-level strong is amazing. Earlier, Yang Tian's undead soul transferred to escape from this battlefield, and then used corpse explosion to refresh the shield strength. And Emperor Shinwei recovered to his peak state in that short period of time. Now, Lang Yu is wearing a blood-colored battlesuit, and his momentum is amazingly strong. In addition, Lang Yu killed Long Yan, and Emperor Shinwei knew in his heart that he was no longer Lang Yu's opponent. He couldn't escape. Even more, he failed at the end of his mission, and he had already conceived the will to die. He didn't want to escape at all. He just wanted to kill Yang Tian before he died. Brother Han Shui, you have helped a lot, leave the rest to me. Lang Yu chuckled and held the sword to meet the Emperor Shinwei. His body was full of purple Doqi lotus, but his speed was faster than the Emperor Shinwei's Doqi wings, which immediately made the Emperor Shinwei's mouth twitch. Damn it, this Lang Yu is too scary now. He must have the secret treasure of the wolf totem in his hand. Hate it, this emperor just wants to kill Han Shui, want to kill a mere saint king. Can't this emperor even do such a small thing now? The Emperor Shinwei roared in his heart. At this time, his mentality exploded and he couldn't exert his true strength at all. Swish. Just at this moment, Seeing suddenly made a move. I saw a chain flying out of his sleeves, hooking Lang Yu tightly, thus restricting Lang Yu's movements. Brother Han Shui, be careful, Lang Yu roared. Ha, the Emperor Shinwei laughed wildly, bypassed Lang Yu like lightning, and slashed towards Yang Tian with a sword. Tisk, I don't know if Lang Yu did it on purpose or if it was a mistake, Yang Tian sneered in his heart. In his opinion, with Lang Yu's current speed, it is almost impossible for him to be hooked by Seeing's chain. Bang! While Yang Tian was pondering, the Emperor Shinwei slashed him with a sword, causing a deafening explosion. It's over, Brother Shui was distracted and didn't even dodge. It's over, the scarlet shield on Brother Shui should be very strong, but Brother Shui activated the Doqi wings and wanted to use speed to deal with Emperor Shinwei, which means that Brother Shui's shield is about to explode. Now he is directly hit by the skills of Emperor Shinwei, and he will definitely die. Seeing the scene on the screen, hundreds of millions of viewers in many live broadcast rooms trembled. But the next moment, they, and even Emperor Shinwei himself, were shocked. Yang Tian was naturally unhindered. He swept the shield and found that it was less than 3 trillion in strength. 3 trillion, this is very scary. It can only be said that the dragon-slaying sword is the dragon-slaying sword. You know, the Emperor of Shinwei is now Doqi wings, not Doqi lotus. Otherwise, when Yang Tian receives a blow, the strength of the shield lost is not 3 trillion, but more than 20 trillion. However, whether it is 3 trillion or more than 20 trillion, the strength of Yang Tian's shield is as high as a terrifying 2000 trillion. Even if Yang Tian arrogantly stands still and lets the Emperor of Shinwei hit him, I believe that the Emperor of Shinwei will not be able to kill Yang Tian in a short time. You. The Emperor of Shinwei stared at Yang Tian with his eyes wide open, unable to speak. That shield. Lang Yu's eyes flashed. He knew that the Emperor of Shinwei held the dragon-slaying sword, and he also knew that Yang Tian had the blood of the dragon. Yang Tian took the blow of the dragon-slaying sword head-on, but he was unscathed. This immediately surprised him at the terribleness of Yang Tian's shield. I can't expose too much in front of Lang Yu. Yang Tian's heart moved, and the wings of fighting spirit behind him spread out, and he flew out, using his speed to deal with the Emperor of Xinwu again. He did this to create an illusion for Lang Yu, telling Lang Yu that his shield was not that strong and would soon break. As for whether Lang Yu would be fooled, that was not within his consideration. 3 seconds later, the chain that bound Lang Yu automatically returned to Xing's cuffs, and Lang Yu was freed. The inverted pupils, the ferocious wolf face, the protruding fangs, and the bloody battle clothes, Lang Yu at the moment was like a demon god, which made people feel cold. Even Xing couldn't help but tremble and sweat. Whoosh! Xing attacked again, but this time, Lang Yu easily dodged it. Just as Yang Tian thought, with Lang Yu's current speed, as long as he wanted, it would be impossible for Xing to hold him back. Continuous slash. Swish swish swish. Under Xing's horrified eyes, Lang Yu slashed 3 times with the giant sword in hand. Each time, Lang Yu's giant sword could easily cut through his fighting spirit and severely injure him. After the 3 slashes, 3 shocking huge wounds appeared on Xing's body, and blood gushed out, shocking. At the same time, Xing's pupils dimmed instantly, and a large number of objects burst out, falling down with the corpse. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 484. Wow! Lang Yu. No one can stop him now. Even if it's a god, he can kill him instantly. The scene of Lang Yu killing Xing instantly with one move made many live broadcast rooms boil, and countless viewers began to swipe the barrage. It seems that without swiping the barrage, they can't vent their excitement. After Xing fell, a large number of items exploded, including the godhead. This time, Lang Yu didn't even pick up the godhead. He turned around and rushed towards the Emperor Xinwu with a sword. Heavy attack. Bang. As Lang Yu slashed with the sword, the Emperor Xinwu groaned, and a huge hole was opened on his chest. Blood gushed out like a fountain. His figure retreated more than 10 meters, and his feet plowed a wave of air more than 10 meters in the void. What? At this time, the blood bar of the Emperor Xinwu was more than half gone. He stared at Lang Yu, his face was pale, blood was overflowing from the corners of his mouth, and his face was full of disbelief. Everyone is a god-level warrior, but Lang Yu was able to repel him and even almost killed him instantly. How could he not be surprised? He knew that Lang Yu had the wolf totem treasure, and after activating it, his strength was stronger than his, but he did not expect Lang Yu to be so strong now. That kind of combat power is completely above the god level. Swish. Lang Yu was in werewolf form, wearing a bloody battle suit, holding a bloody giant sword, and his face was cold like a demon. His cold eyes looked at the scarred appearance of the Emperor of Xinwu, without a trace of sympathy. With a move of his body, he slashed at the Emperor of Xinwu with the sword again. The damage deepened. At this time, Yang Tian took the lead and snapped his fingers with a snap. The damage deepened is an instant skill. No matter how fast Lang Yu is now, he can't catch up. In an instant, the wound on the body of the Emperor of Xinwu that was previously cut by Lang Yu instantly expanded 10 times, and he exploded and died directly, stirring up a blood mist all over the sky. In the thick blood mist, a large number of items exploded after the death of Emperor Xinwu, among which there were actually several rosy glow items, which fell down with the corpse. When the blood mist dissipated, there was still a strong and pungent smell of blood in the air. Dragon-slaying sword, godhead, and the imperial seals of the Xinwu Empire and the Xianyuan Empire. Yang Tian looked up and saw what those rosy glow items were. System, you killed Emperor Xinwu, and you will get an additional experience value reward of 2,010,000,000 skill points. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian gained a huge amount of experience points, and the upgrade progress bar rushed forward. You must know that he is now level 182. At this stage, each upgrade requires a huge amount of experience points. If you use ordinary means to kill monsters for 1 or 2 days, the upgrade progress bar may not move. As mentioned earlier, NPCs have only one life. Under normal circumstances, killing NPCs is the first kill. And the experience points gained by killing a god-level strongman for the first time are indeed extraordinary. China Warzone broadcast, player Muddy Waters killed Emperor Xinwu, the Xinwu Empire was destroyed, and 55 cities under the Xinwu Empire were liberated and became independent cities. Then, the broadcast sounded, and it flashed 3 times over the entire China Warzone. At the beginning, the Xinwu Empire had hundreds of cities, countless towns and villages. Later, the Suanwu Empire was established, and the two countries formed an alliance and divided the country equally. And now, the Xinwu Empire and the Suanwu Empire are all destroyed. So far, the entire map section has been liberated and declared independent. However, the Wolf Totem Empire has been established and occupied Suanwu City as the imperial capital. It's over, it's finally over. It's been a roller coaster ride. First the Suanwu Empire was established, then destroyed, then the Wolf Totem was established, and now the Xinwu Empire is destroyed. A lot of things have happened recently. Yes, but Brother Shui's brilliance has been overshadowed by Lang Yu. Even at the end, the first kill of the Xinwu Emperor was snatched from Lang Yu by Brother Shui. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed. Well, from this we can infer that Brother Shui doesn't really have the strength to kill gods. We didn't see the first kill of the Suanwu Emperor before, and I'm afraid it was also snatched from Lang Yu by Brother Shui. Alas. In many live broadcast rooms, after a wave of barrage rhythms, they gradually return to calm. Countless viewers have some doubts about Yang Tian's strength. Let's go, it's all over. There's no point in continuing to watch. Let's go. That's impossible. Look at the profits of Brother Shui and his team. In this wave of battles, 3 gods fell. Brother Shui and his team must have made a lot of money. That's right. We can't get those profits. It's good to watch and broaden our horizons. The live broadcast rooms were lively again. At this time, Yang Tian, Long Huangmao, Lang Yu, and Lang Ling all landed and gathered together. Great, Xianyu and Long and Lang Ling shouted at the same time. Xianyu and Long was even more excited and took the initiative to hug Yang Tian. This scene immediately made countless viewers swipe 666 barrage. And Lang Ling was alone, jumping and jumping with joy, even with tears in his eyes. 3 years, he had waited for this day for too long. Now that the Wolf Totem was established, Lang Yu achieved the throne, and killed the Xinwu Emperor, destroyed the Xinwu Empire, and consolidated the country. He had truly completed his task and mission. It's over, huh? Emily witnessed the entire battle on the roof of a building on the city road. She sighed secretly and was about to turn around and leave, but was suddenly startled. At the same time, Yang Tian, Long Huang Mao, Lang Ling, and even countless viewers in many live broadcast rooms suddenly noticed something strange. Lang Yu walked to the body of Emperor Xinwu alone and bent down to pick up the dragon-slaying sword. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, Lang Yu held the dragon-slaying sword in his hand and laughed wildly towards the sky. His wolf face was full of ferocity and hostility. Yang Tian was startled and glanced at Huang Mao. The latter understood immediately and pulled Xianyu and Long back quietly. Lang, brother Lang Yu. Lang Ling looked at Lang Yu and shouted tremblingly. At this time, he had a premonition, but he didn't want to believe it. Lang Yu came back to his senses, glanced at him coldly, and waved his hand to cancel the alliance between Wolf Totem and Xianyuan Empire. Swish. Swish swish swish. At this moment, the green fighting spirit light wings behind Yang Tian dissipated. Not only Yang Tian, Huang Mao, Xiaofei, Long Lu, Qin Yu, and even the Water Alliance army who were still chasing the soldiers of the Xinwu Empire, all lost their fighting spirit at this time, and their combat power plummeted. Yang Tian, Huang Mao, and even the people of the Water Alliance, are all members of the Xianyuan Empire. However, the Xianyuan Empire was not established, and it was not in name only, and Xianyuan longer had no power. Later, Wolf Totem was established and allied with the Xianyuan Empire. Xianyuan Empire took advantage of the alliance relationship. Xianyuan longer had some power, and conferred military ranks on Yang Tian Huangmao and others. At this moment, Lang Yu cancelled the alliance relationship, and everything returned to the starting point. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 485. Brother Lang Yu, you. Lang Ling took a breath of air and looked at Lang Yu stupidly, feeling extremely complicated. How could he still not understand it now? It's just that he didn't expect that the person he had always admired would still have such a face. Wolf Ling, you are my emperor's most loyal and capable general. You have always done a good job and your hard work has yielded great results. Now you should be tired. Please step back and let me handle the rest of the matter. Lang Yu said lightly. Unknowingly, his tone, attitude, and even aura had undergone earth-shaking changes. He was a humble and gentle gentleman before, but in the blink of an eye he became a lord of the world, and he even started calling himself the emperor. Wow! Is this Lang Yu city so deep? So he has been using Brother Shui and the others from the beginning. Look, everyone, compared to the stupid Lang Ling, Brother Shui's face is calm and calm. Could it be that Brother Shui has been prepared for it? Tisk, if that's the case, Brother Shui's city is really deep and terrifying. Tiangziu. However, Brother Shui is in trouble, and Lang Yu's strength really cannot be overshadowed. The sudden scene in front of them made many viewers in the live broadcast room excited. At the same time, the hearts of countless people tightened and they were very eager to see what would happen next. Ha, Brother Muddy Waters, I'm so sorry, I took advantage of you. Lang Yu stared at Yang Tian, with a teasing smile that could not be concealed on his face. Without your help, how could this emperor have wiped out Emperor Xinwu and all the forces under his command so quickly? Now, the Xinwu Empire is so vast, and this emperor is so powerful. The emperor is at your fingertips. Haha, Muddy Waters, you must be happy to kill Emperor Xinwu, right? Because that means you can establish the Xianyuan Empire. How pitiful, how could I? Oh! Lang Yu was so proud and gushing, as if he wanted to tell Yang Tian all about his pride and achievements. It seemed that only that could make him feel truly satisfied. However, Yang Tian's indifferent expression and a simple word interrupted his pride, causing him to frown deeply. The scarlet bloodthirsty, inverted pupils looked Yang Tian up and down. He wanted to find other expressions on Yang Tian's face, but there was none. After a long time, he couldn't help but snorted coldly and said, Muddy Waters, you really have the demeanor of a general. Now that things have happened, I never thought you could still keep your composure. Now that I have the dragon-slaying sword in my hand, you can't help but know the power of the dragon-slaying sword. It can cause 10 times the fatal damage to dragons and those with dragon bloodline. Moreover, my current strength is many times stronger than yours. You even have no fighting spirit anymore. I really don't understand if you are so calm, are you fearless and brave, or are you just pretending? As he talked, Lang Yu couldn't help but feel a pity for Yang Tian's talent. To be honest, he really wanted to take Yang Tian into his account. But unfortunately, by now, he himself knew that it was already impossible. What? Emperor Xinwu's sword turned out to be a dragon-slaying sword. It's so scary. It turns out that Brother Shui has been carrying the pressure of the dragon-slaying sword to fight against Xing and Emperor Xinwu. In this way, Brother Shui's strength is really terrifying, far beyond your imagination. Well, I actually questioned Brother Shui's strength before. Brother Shui, I really deserve death. 666, Brother Shui, I'm sorry. Lang Yu's every word penetrated through the screen, shocking countless viewers in the live broadcast room, and instantly started a crazy barrage rhythm. Many people feel guilty for questioning Yang Tian's strength before. Lang Yu, you don't have to be so proud. In fact, I've known about your ambition from the beginning, so of course I'm on guard. Yang Tian sneered. How is that possible? Lang Yu was shocked. He carefully recalled his previous words and deeds, but he couldn't detect any flaws in himself. Although you were low-key and humble before, everything you said before was only related to the wolf totem and did not mention the Xianyuan Empire at all. You must know that we were in an alliance at the time. Do you think that you were a qualified alliance before? The performance of the person, Yang Tian said calmly. Brother Shui knows everything. Brother Shui is awesome. Brother Shui 666. What Yang Tian said fully reflected the subtlety of his observation, which immediately made countless viewers worship him, began to barrage rhythm, and started to praise Yang Tian without thinking. I see. I didn't expect that your city is so deep. It's because I don't have enough moral skills. But, defense. How do you guard against it? I now have super godly strength and a dragon-slaying sword in my hand. I really don't know what you have. What confidence? I can tell you clearly that I can maintain this state for up to 2 minutes. However, I will kill you with more than a few strokes. Lang Yu snorted coldly, purple fighting spirit lotuses surged around his body, and his bloody battle suit fluttered in the wind. Holding his hand, the dragon-slaying sword rushed toward Yang Tian. Currently, he is within the range of Yang Tian's undercurrent, and his movement speed is reduced by 30%. However, his speed is still astonishingly fast, far from being comparable to that of Yang Tian. After all, he is a god-level powerhouse, and he also has the amplifying effect of the Blood Wolf Order. Brother Lang Yu. Stop, I beg you. Brother Shui and the others treat me as a brother. No matter what, I can't let them be sorry. If you want to kill them, kill me first. A strong wind swept past, and Lang Ling, with tears on his face, rushed up with a sword and blocked Yang Tian. Lang Ling, Yang Tian, Huang Mao, and Xianyuan Longer were all startled. Even the countless viewers in the live broadcast rooms were also startled. Get out of here, do you think this emperor dare not kill you? At this point, this emperor has achieved the throne, and the vast country is at my fingertips. To this emperor, you have no use value at all, and you are no different from an ant. Lang Yu sneered. The cold and heartbreaking words made Lang Ling tremble all over and completely stunned. The next moment. Swish. Lang Yu slashed with a sword. He didn't even use any skills, but Lang Ling's body instantly bleeds out, and he fell to the ground as a cold corpse. Hiss, Yang Tian, Huang Mao, and Xianyuan Longer all took a breath of cold air. At this point, they certainly knew that Lang Yu had evil intentions, but they never expected him to be so bad. Lang Ling had been with him for 3 years. How many 3 years are there in a lifetime? His time is money, and other people's time is shit. Yang Tian really didn't expect that he would be so cruel. Lang Yu really deserves to die. Brother Shui, kill him. Seeing the scene in front of them, countless viewers in many live broadcast rooms were filled with anger, and they wanted to rush into the screen, arrive at the scene and kill Lang Yu with their own hands. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 486. Lang Yu, today, I will kill you. Yang Tian stared at Lang Yu, his eyes were cold and terrifying, making people intimidated. As his strength continues to grow, Yang Tian's qualities in all aspects have improved significantly. The most obvious thing is that he has an aura of a strong man than before. That kind of aura will burst out automatically when his emotions fluctuate violently. If you are weak, you won't even dare to look into his eyes. However, Lang Yu has imperial blood and now has super strength, so Yang Tian's aura cannot affect him. In fact, Yang Tian's ability to avoid being affected by his aura is worthy of praise. Humph, you're just pretending, you don't know your own abilities, Lang Yu sneered. Transform into a divine dragon. Hold head high. The next moment, as a long dragon roar sounded, Yang Tian transformed into a dragon-like form. The undead transforms into a ghost assassin. Brush. With a flash of white light, Yang Tian changed his form again and turned into a humanoid bone dragon. Skeleton, dragon form. The pale bony fingers of his right hand held a gleaming dagger. In the empty eye sockets, 2 balls of soul fire flickered constantly due to emotional excitement, with a murderous look. Call out. Under the shocked eyes of countless people, Yang Tian Lang Yu rushed towards the opponent at the same time, pulling out after images behind him. The speed was even the same. Lang Yu is a god-level powerhouse. His basic movement speed is quite high, and the Blood Wolf Order doubles it. However, due to the influence of Yang Tian undercurrent, his movement speed was reduced by 30%. This does not mean that his base movement speed remains unchanged, but that the increased speed drops from 100% to 70%. Instead, after his base movement speed is increased, his current movement speed is reduced by 30%. For example, assuming Lang Yu's basic movement speed is 100, if the Blood Wolf Order is doubled, it will be 200, and if it is reduced by 30%, it will be 140. And if Lang Yu's basic movement speed is 100, then Yang Tian's basic movement speed is only 70, and the dragon transformation doubles, which is exactly 140. It is precisely because of this that the movement speeds of Yang Tian and Lang Yu are comparable. Blow. Boom. Lang Yu slashed down with his sword, and Yang Tian was stunned. He felt himself being hit by a heavy tank, and he retreated violently. The solace of his feet plowed out 2 parallel air waves more than 10 meters long in the void. You know, Yang Tian's current movement speed is not at a disadvantage, and his attack speed is a bit disadvantageous, but coupled with his operation, it is enough to compete with Lang Yu. But he had no intention of confronting Lang Yu. After all, Lang Yu now possesses supernatural combat power, with purple fighting spirit around him, and holding a dragon-slaying sword. If Yang Tian fights with him, his combat power will be completely destroyed, and he will still be injured by Lang Yu. Yang Tian could only rely on his scarlet shield to fight with Lang Yu. Only by a simple and crude fight like you chop me, I chop you, could he kill Lang Yu. He had a good idea, but he didn't expect that Lang Yu's power was so high. With the increase in his dragon transformation, Lang Yu could easily repel him with one move. Well. At this time, Yang Tian clearly felt that the scarlet shield on his body had dimmed slightly, and he quickly checked the strength of the shield. The shield's strength was more than 2,250 megabytes before, but now only 2,000 megabytes is left. In other words, Lang Yu's heavy attack actually caused about 250 trillion of horrific damage to him. Super God fighting power, purple fighting spirit lotus, dragon slaying sword. I have to admit that now he is indeed as formidable as the god of war. Yang Tian sighed secretly. You know, even he uses skills at the same level as heavy attacks, such as bone spears. Even if he used a bone spear to attack a defenseless wooden stake, the maximum damage would be 400 billion, less than half a trillion. His combat power is slightly higher than that of ordinary god-level warriors, which is enough to show how terrifying Lang Yu is now. Don't look at the fact that he used corpse explosion before to form a 2,250 megatron strength shield. That was because corpse explosion was a range attack and it killed hundreds of people instantly. If the corpse explosion only hits one person, it will be completely different. Wow, Brother Shui is so fast, he can even match Lang Yu. No, compared to speed, Brother Shui's shield is really scary. That shield, how thick does it have to be? You have to know that Lang Yu's combat power is off the charts now, and he can do it with just one move. Brother Shui actually didn't lose a drop of blood, and even the shield was still intact. The scene in front of him immediately caused many live broadcast rooms to explode with barrages, and countless viewers were shocked. Next moment. Maniu Tiangang. Mu. As a rough roar sounded, a golden red bull figure appeared around Yang Tian. Barbarian Bull Tiangang possesses body dominance for 10 seconds, during which the damage is reduced tenfold, and cannot be knocked back, knocked away, knocked down, or frozen. Then, in mid-air, two war god-like figures collided again, striking out like lightning and fighting crazily. In the blink of an eye, blood filled the sky. I saw that the wolf hair on Lang Yu's body was broken everywhere, and there was blood everywhere. On the other hand, Yang Tian was unscathed, except that the scarlet shield was slightly dimmed. Wow, two powerful men fighting each other, it's so simple and crude, return to nature. It's scary. Brother Shui is too scary. No, to be precise, it's Brother Shui's shield that's too scary. That Lang Yu now has superhuman combat power, with purple fighting spirit around him, plus a dragon-slaying sword. I don't know how powerful he is. How high? But even so, Brother Shui was still unscathed. Nonsense, the shield was also released by Brother Shui. The shield is awesome, which is equivalent to Brother Shui being awesome. Isn't this contradictory? 666, if you don't agree, just fight. Whoever is cowardly is a dog, the scene in front of me reflects this sentence vividly. Look, Lang Yu is the first to coward. The scene of Yang Tian and Lang Yu fighting mindlessly in front of me shocked Huang Mao Long and even the audience at the scene and the audience in many live broadcast rooms. Even Huang Mao was stunned, and his jaw almost dropped to the ground. He knew that Yang Tian had the power to kill gods. However, Lang Yu currently has super god combat power, even fighting spirit, and the dragon-slaying sword in his hand. He felt chill just thinking about that kind of combat power, but Yang Tian still took it hard. Unconsciously, the gap between you and me has become so big. Huang Mao clenched his fists, and a bitter smile overflowed from the corners of his mouth. That was unwilling. Of course he was unwilling. He was arrogant, how could he be willing to fall behind? Especially when he knew that the Earth would be invaded by Zerg or even aliens in the future, he felt a sense of urgency in his heart. As brothers, they should help each other. It was not until then that he suddenly woke up. As the gap between the two of them became larger and larger, he could not help Yang Tian at all. If one day, Yang Tian was besieged by a powerful Zerg group, he would even become a burden. Such a discovery made his heart tighten and his hair stood on end. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 487. At this time, Yang Tian is protected by the Taurus Tiangang. All damage received within 10 seconds is reduced by 10 times, and he cannot be knocked away, knocked down, knocked back, or frozen. Because of this, Lang Yu attacked crazily, each move causing him more than 20 trillion damage at most. And his Scarlet Shield still has a strength of 2000 megabytes, which can completely withstand it. At the same time, Lang Yu couldn't bear it anymore under Yang Tian's fierce attack. Lang Yu is a god-level powerhouse. With the Blood Wolf Order doubling all his attributes and the Purple Dochi Lotus, his defense is unimaginably strong. But when Yang Tian attacks him, even if his combat power is weakened, he can still do more than 400 billion damage in one move. Under Yang Tian's continuous fierce attacks, Lang Yu immediately died and lost more than half of his blood. After all, even if Lang Yu is a god-level powerhouse, his total lifespan is only more than 2 trillion. If the Blood Wolf Order is doubled, it will only be 5 trillion at best. You must know that Yang Tian's combat power is very terrifying, which is a very critical point. His basic combat power is as high as 4 billion, while Lang Yu only has 3 billion. The Divine Dragon transformation doubles all attributes, and the Blood Wolf transformation doubles all attributes. In other words, if we don't talk about fighting spirit, don't talk about the dragon slaying sword, and just talk about combat power, Yang Tian is even superior to Lang Yu, which is the most terrifying thing. However, in this battle, Yang Tian's scarlet shield was too dazzling. Lang Yu, and even countless viewers in the live broadcast room, only paid attention to and lamented the terrifying power of Yang Tian's shield, but completely ignored Yang Tian. Super high combat power. Asshole, who is this kid? How strong is his shield? Even the Emperor can't break it, so who else in the world can break it? Could it be said that he is invincible in the world? Lang Yu's pair of ferocious, bloodthirsty, inverted pupils stared at Yang Tian. Even he could feel that his body was shaking uncontrollably. He couldn't see through the strength of Yang Tian's shield, which was an unknown fear. Under this kind of pressure, someone as strong as him actually developed fear. The so-called brave man is invincible. Now that he lost the courage in his heart, he naturally lost the will to fight. He immediately withdrew from the battlefield, turned around and fled back. At this time, he only had about 1 trillion left in his life. I'm scared. Lang Yu is actually scared. He is obviously so strong. In my opinion, it's normal for him to be cowardly, right? Now he only has 1/5 of his life left, and Brother Shui is still full of health, and he still has the scarlet shield on him. It's already clear who is stronger and who is weaker. You are right, but it is difficult for Brother Shui to kill Lang Yu. You must know that Lang Yu still has fighting spirit to transform into wings, but Brother Shui's speed has reached the limit. Brother Shui will still be injured without fighting spirit. The sight of Lang Yu escaping without a fight immediately shocked countless viewers in the live broadcast rooms, and the barrage began. Want to escape? Yang Tian sneered and chased after Lang Yu, the undercurrent moving under his feet as he moved. Muddy waters, you are really frighteningly strong, but if I want to leave, you can't keep me. After saying that, the purple fighting spirit lotus on Lang Yu's body transformed into a pair of purple fighting spirit light wings, which were inserted into his chest. Behind. At this moment, his movement speed skyrocketed, and he distanced himself from Yang Tian at a speed visible to the naked eye every second. If you had understood the gap between us and the enemy earlier and escaped earlier, I might not be able to keep you. But now, it's too late. Yang Tian casually snapped his fingers and summoned 500 werewolf zombie kings 10 yards in front of Lang Yu. All are in Yailing realm. Did the corpse explode? By the way, I have only now discovered that his combat power is very terrifying. He is only at the realm of the Holy King. Lang Yu suddenly woke up and was sweating profusely. At the same time, under the threat of death, a strong desire to survive was aroused in his heart. Call out! Gale of thunder! With a flash of white light, Lang Yu's size instantly expanded more than 100 times, like a giant. I saw him holding the sword in both hands, spinning in a circle, triggering a violent whirlwind, and wiped out the 500 werewolf zombie kings in the blink of an eye. After doing all this, Lang Yu's mouth showed a hint of relief, and he breathed a huge sigh of relief in his heart. Rainstorm arrow. Boo-hoo-hoo. In an instant, arrows all over the sky were like a shower, raining down on him intensively. Ah! Lang Yu screamed, and his whole body was pierced by thousands of rainstorm arrows. Blood spurted out, forming a thick mist of blood in the sky. Because Lang Yu's fighting spirit turned into wings and lost the defense of the fighting spirit lotus, the damage from the rainstorm arrows completely overflowed, easily taking away the last trillion of his life. Wow! In mid-air, Lang Yu exploded magnificently, exploding a large number of items. Among them, the dragon-slaying sword, Long Yan's divine personality, even his god-level blood wolf bloodline, and the wolf totem's national jade seal all exploded. Together with Lang Yu's huge corpse, they fell downwards. During the fall, Lang Yu's body quickly became smaller and eventually returned to its original size. But even so, the speed of the fall remained unchanged, and it eventually crushed a building on the city road, creating a large crater and sending up waves of dust in the sky. System: you kill Lang Yu first, and you will receive an additional 2.5 billion experience points and 10 skill points. China War Zone broadcast: the player Muddy Waters killed Lang Yu, the Wolf Totem Empire was destroyed, and a city under Wolf Totem was liberated and became an independent city. The radio then sounded and flashed 3 times over the Chinese war zone. At the same time, the sound of the broadcast also rang through the screens of the major live broadcast rooms and sounded in the ears of countless viewers, which startled them, and then began a crazy barrage rhythm. Lang Yu died. Brother Shui won. Brother Shui is awesome. He is worthy of being the face of our Chinese theater. The Chinese theater has risen. In the future World War, Brother Shui can compete with the heroes with his strength and lead us to sweep the major overseas theaters. Awesome, and this is just the beginning of Brother Shui's revenge. The other 3 empires and Zeus are probably trembling when they hear the broadcast now, right? Ha 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 ha. Zeus, God's left hand, he must be regretting it now. He dared to take advantage of Brother Shui's end to suppress the Water Alliance. He is simply courting death. On the other side, Xiaofi Longlu, Qin Yu and others led the people of the Water Alliance, plus the 100 three-headed dogs of hell summoned by Yang Tian before, and had already killed all the remnants of the Xinyu Empire. Now, seeing Yang Tian beheading Lang Yu and feeling the cheers and applause of countless spectators, Xiaofei and the other active members of the Water Alliance shouted excitedly, danced excitedly, and hugged each other. And those old members of the Water Alliance who came to help were relieved, but they couldn't help but feel hot tears sliding down their eyes. They were relieved after their revenge. But the glory and the cheers of the surrounding mountains no longer belonged to them. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 488. Hey, where is that old woman Emily? Wasn't she arrogant before? Host, please show me the camera, I can't wait to see her shocked and twitching face. Yes, I almost forgot, hey, host, please show me the camera. Okay. Following the rhythm of the bullet screen in a live broadcast room, the host immediately responded, and then the camera switched, and the picture on the screen quickly shifted, but Emily was still nowhere to be seen. Damn, that old woman is gone. Alas, I enjoyed watching this wave, but I didn't see Emily's twitching face, which is the only regret. At the scene, Yang Tian Huangmao Xianyu and Long Xiaofi Long Lu Qin Yu and others, as well as the current members of the Water Alliance and many old members gathered. Looking at the tears in the eyes of many old members, Yang Tian sighed secretly. At this point, he naturally couldn't call them back, because if he did, he was afraid that he would hurt their self-esteem. Of course, Yang Tian firmly believed that they would be able to stand on their own after leaving the Water Alliance. The Water Alliance could not exist forever. Once the Zerg invaded the Earth, everything would become unpredictable. Yang Tian took the Water Alliance as a benchmark. If he could help many people, he would be proud of it. Who of you is the priest? Help revive this guy. Yang Tian pointed at the body of Lang Ling and said to everyone. A man soon walked out of the crowd. He was an old member of the Water Alliance. He wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes and walked over to revive Lang Ling. Lang Ling sat up, but just sat on the ground, slightly hunched over, lowered his head and sobbed. Tears did not stop. That look was like an old tree that was about to die, without any life, full of despair and loneliness. Looking at his embarrassed appearance, Yang Tian Huangmao and others, all the active and old members of the Water Alliance, and even the audience at the scene and countless viewers in many live broadcast rooms did not laugh at him, but just watched quietly. Finally, Huangmao walked over and helped him up, put his hands on his shoulders, and said, "Don't cry, let go of the past, and move forward bravely. That's what a man should do. Besides, we brothers will protect you. Looking at Huang Mao's serious look, Yang Tian's mouth twitched, and his face was full of black lines. He still remembered that when Huang Mao and Xian Ji's misunderstanding was resolved, Huang Mao cried like a fool. This kid, after going through a lot, is much more mature than before. Yang Tian touched his chin and sighed, with a sense of relief like an old father watching his son grow up. Boss Huang Mao. Hearing this, Lang Ling's nose was instantly sour. He didn't have anything to say, but now he cried like a fool. He even opened his arms excitedly and hugged Huang Mao. Tisk tisk. Yang Tian shook his head and stretched out his hand to block his eyes, not wanting to see the unbearable scene that followed. Who knew that Huang Mao kept howling, his face full of disgust, and directly used his hands and feet to separate Lang Ling. The joyful scene in front of him made all the audience laugh out loud. Yang Tian's mouth twitched. Where is the maturity you promised? Others are so sad, what can you do by giving them a hug? After a few minutes, Lang Ling's mood gradually recovered, and the tears and snot on his face were wiped dry. At this time, Huang Mao walked towards Lang Yu's body, took away the god-level Blood Wolf bloodline and Blood Wolf order, and handed them to Lang Ling together. In fact, Lang Ling's Blood Wolf bloodline has reached the 9-color quality, and only needs one godhead to evolve into the god-level Blood Wolf bloodline. The god-level Blood Wolf bloodline is much more precious than the godhead. Although the attributes are the same, the two bloodline skills are completely incomparable to the godhead. In terms of benefits, Huang Mao doesn't need to do this at all. But in this situation, Yang Tian didn't say much, and Huang Mao might have other intentions. After all, this god-level Blood Wolf bloodline was revealed by Lang Yu, and it was also a good ending to belong to Lang Ling in the end. Wow, another Lang Yu. Congratulations to the Water Alliance for adding another great general, awesome. Come on, Lang Ling. His future is worth watching. The scene in front of him made many live broadcast rooms boil again. Countless viewers secretly remembered Lang Ling. After all, they had already deeply understood Lang Yu's terrifying strength, and Lang Ling would be the next Lang Yu as long as he reached level 200 and became a god. Lang Ling could not see the barrage in many live broadcast rooms, but there was also a lot of cheers at the scene, which immediately made him find himself and regain his confidence. Next, Yang Tian and the people of the Water Alliance began to clean up the battlefield. In the continuous battles of this day, Emperor Suanwuo, Emperor Shinwuo, Xing, Long Yan, and Lang Yu, all 5 gods fell. Emperor Suanwuo was the blood of the god-level Blood Wolf, which was later obtained by Lang Yu and then in the hands of Lang Ling. Emperor Shinwuo, Xing, and Long Yan all exploded the godhood, a total of 3. In addition, there is a dragon-slaying sword, a Blood Wolf order, returned to Wolf 0, and the imperial seals of the Shinwu Empire, Xianyuan Empire, and Wolf Totem. The above is the biggest gain of the Water Alliance in this battle. All the other gains combined may not be as good as one of them, including 10 holy lights, 100 fairy spirits, and 1000 spiritual essences. Of course, the imperial seal is an exception. For Yang Tian and his men, only 1 imperial seal is enough. More is useless, but it can be sold at a high price in the future. It is also worth mentioning that the green dragon that Long Yan sat on was a female, and it lived up to Huang Mao's expectations and exploded a green dragon egg. Huang Mao instantly hatched the dragon with a drop of blood, and successfully obtained his first dragon pet. The small green dragon baby was only the size of a palm, and its entire body, including the pair of small wings behind it, was emerald green, both beautiful and cute. It struggled to open its eyes, and curiously observed everything around it with its emerald-like dragon eyes. The green dragon baby, a level 1 sacred beast, has amazing potential. If it is obtained by a new player who has just played Taegzu, it will definitely be a rhythm of defeating the world in seconds. At the same time, with the acquisition of the green dragon baby, Huang Mao instantly climbed the National Service Battle Pet list and the World Battle Pet list, ranking first on both lists. The first of the three divine natures naturally fell into Huang Mao's hands. Huang Mao swallowed it directly, and the holy dragon blood in his body evolved into the same divine dragon blood as Yang Tian. The second one, Yang Tian gave to Long Lu. Long Lu is now a dragon blood shield warrior. Like Yang Tian Huang Mao, he also has divine dragon transformation and divine dragon physique, plus the spiritual level steel dragon blood. His defense ability is amazingly high, and Yang Tian is very optimistic. After Long Lu obtained the godhood, the spirit level steel dragon bloodline in his body evolved into the god level steel dragon bloodline. So far, in the Water Alliance, Yang Tian, Huang Mao, Lang Ling, and Long Lu all possessed god-level bloodlines. After reaching level 200, they became god-level warriors, and each of them was very terrifying. Yang Tian did not say much about himself. Huang Mao Dragon Knight, Lang Ling Werewolf Berserker and Blood Wolf Order, and Long Lu Dragon Blood Shield Warrior, after they became gods, they naturally far surpassed ordinary god-level warriors. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 489. Except for 4 people. Among the Water Alliance, Yang Tian is most optimistic about Xiao Fei and Qin Yu. Yang Tian thought he had a good eye for judging people. In his opinion, the talents and potential of the other people in the Water League were not at the same level as Xiao Fei and Qin Yu. If the Water League were to form the strongest lineup, it would definitely be Yang Tian, Huang Mao Xiaofei, Long Lu, and Wolfling Qin Yu. Of course, there is Xian Ji. Yang Tian was in awe of a person like Xian Ji and called him Brother Xian. It's a pity that Suanj is becoming more and more Buddhist now. In this Water Alliance battle, he didn't even come online. Perhaps, Yang Tian guessed, Suanj was satisfied seeing Huang Mao now. Back to the topic, now Xiao Fei and Qin Yu are still Ling Yuan, not even bloodline. You must know that the god-level bloodline is definitely stronger than the godhead. The stronger the person, the more powerful he will face, the monster-like enemy. Yang Tian couldn't let Xiao Fei and Qin Yu lose at the starting line. Yang Tian didn't give Xiao Fei or Qin Yu the last godhead. Everything has to wait until they get the bloodline they want. You can get a lot more godhead in the future. If Xiaofei Qinyu gets the bloodline he wants, and it is not a god-level bloodline, it will definitely be a god-level bloodline in the future. And what Xianyu and Long wants is not the godhead, but the blood of the original dragon. At least he must first obtain the blood of the original dragon. After thinking again and again, Yang Tian gave the last godhead to Huang Mao's green dragon baby. After getting the godhead, Huang Mao was about to feed it to the green dragon baby. Yang Tian was startled and stopped him quickly. You are crazy. Your green dragon baby is only level 1. It devours the godhead and has a 99.999% failure rate. Huang Mao woke up suddenly, sneered, and quickly stopped his hand to save the godhead. After stabilizing Huang Mao, Yang Tian suddenly remembered that he still had several high-level bloodlines in his hand. 2 god-level bloodlines, the bloodline of the Lich King and the bloodline of the Iron Backthorn Dragon. 9-color bloodline, 1000-year-old tree demon bloodline, water dragon bloodline. Take a look, is there anything you want? Yang Tian took out these 4 bloodlines and said to Xiao Fei Qin Yu. With god-level bloodline and saint-level bloodline at his fingertips, Yang Tian was extremely generous. Of course, it would be useless for the rest of the Water League to be so generous to Xiao Fei and Qin Yu, even if Yang Tian was so generous. No, Xiao Fei shook his head first and said, Brother Shui, I want a bloodline that increases speed. Yang Tian was startled, and the first thought in his mind was the Thunder Snake bloodline he used in his previous life. The Razor bloodline is blessed with passive attack and movement speed. The effect is very terrifying, and it is indeed very suitable for assassins, allowing them to come and go like the wind. In addition to the Razor bloodline, there is also the angelic and demonic bloodline. The blood of angels and demons, in addition to passively increasing attack and movement speed, also increases damage. In terms of amplification speed, the angel-demon bloodline at the same level is not as good as the Razor bloodline, but its overall strength is definitely better than the Razor bloodline. Boss, I want the blood of the 1000-year tree demon and the blood of the water dragon. Regardless of whether it was the blood of thunder snakes or the blood of angels and demons, Yang Tian had no blood, so he ignored Xiao Fei and looked at Qin Yu. Then, Qin Yu said these words. A person can only have one bloodline at most, and bloodlines are mutually exclusive. Yang Tian frowned. I know, so it's hard for me to make a choice, Qin Yu said with a bitter smile. The bloodline skill of the 10,000 years Dryad bloodline has only one vampire vine, which can shoot out countless vines to control the enemy in an instant, and suck the blood into a shield. The bloodline skills of the water dragon bloodline are liquefaction and the other is water dragon break, a large-scale burst of damage. For mages, blood-sucking forms a blood-sucking shield, which can increase the chance of survival. And liquefaction, immunity to physical attacks, can also increase the chance of survival. It was precisely because of this that Qin Yu found it difficult to choose, feeling that both were good. Then I recommend you to have the water dragon bloodline, Yang Tian said. Yang Tian has a strong say in the special effect of blood-sucking. In his opinion, the special effect of blood-sucking is extremely dependent on one's own damage. In the realm of Yang Tian Holy King, his combat power is superior to that of a god-level powerhouse, and is far more than 20 times higher than that of an ordinary Holy King powerhouse. He is good at the blood-sucking special effects, but that doesn't mean everyone is good at it. Well, I choose the bloodline of the 10,000-year tree demon, Qin Yu said with a smile. Yang Tian. Haha, just kidding. Qin Yu laughed loudly, and finally took the water dragon bloodline from Yang Tian. Then he began to beg Huang Mao, Boss Huang Mao, please give me your godhead to evolve the water dragon bloodline. Anyway, you the green dragon baby is only level 1, so it's far away. Go, you think so? Finally, Yang Tian set his sights on the dragon-slaying sword. Dragon-slaying sword, artifact. Level 200. Equipment type, great sword. Basic physical attack add 3 million. Physical strength add 20 million. Strength add 2 million. The only passive, dragon slaying, when attacking dragons and those with dragon bloodline, triggers 10 times fatal damage. Equipment background introduction. This sword was originally a secret treasure of the Xianyuan family, and its original name was Xianyuan sword. Oh, it's another level 200 artifact. After the Lich King's scepter and the Thorn Dragon armor, this is already the third level 200 artifact. No matter how strong the attributes and the effect are, we can't use it. Yang Tian sighed secretly and noticed the dragon-slaying sword. After introducing the background, he handed it over to Xianyuan Longer. After all, the dragon-slaying sword was originally the Xianyuan sword and was the secret treasure of the Xianyuan family. Miraculously, after Xianyuan Longer got the dragon-slaying sword, he actually equipped it. System, congratulations on your equipment. Xianyuan sword being ranked number 1 in the Chinese theater equipment rankings. Can you please show the ID? System, congratulations on your equipment. Xianyuan sword being ranked number 1 in the world equipment rankings. Do you want to display the ID? 2 system prompts sounded in succession, and Yang Tian was startled. The dragon-slaying sword has been changed back to the Xianyuan sword? Why, Yang Tian couldn't believe it. After scanning Xianyuan Longer status, he discovered that not only had the sword's name been changed, but its level had even dropped to a level 180 artifact. And Xianyuan Longer is also level 180. I don't know, it seems to have recognized its master. I have a feeling that it will become stronger with me in the future, Xian Yuan Longer also said in shock. The artifact recognizes its owner. Yang Tian was startled, seeing this for the first time. Because in Taixu, even if it is an artifact, it does not have the function of identifying its owner by dripping blood. It can only be said that Xian Yuan's sword is really extraordinary. It automatically recognizes its master. It not only gets stronger as its master gets stronger, but also gets weaker as its master gets weaker. Perhaps, Yang Tian guessed, the existence of Xian Yuan's sword has transcended the concept of a divine weapon. Yang Tian knew that in Taixu, being a god-level expert was definitely not the end point. In his previous life, he had been playing for 5 years, but he was no longer a god-level powerhouse. He could only circulate in the human world, and never ascended to the gods, angels, demons, and other upper realms. If there really is a being beyond God, then there must be divine weapons and armors that transcend divine weapons. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 490. According to the Hat Alien Iki, the god-level strongmen in Taixu are nothing, just first-level cosmic warriors. Looking at the prehistoric universe, no, even if it is just the insect domain, what can a first-level cosmic warrior do? In the universe void, in the insect domain, there are god-level insects, insect people, and powerful wild beasts everywhere. The behemoth that Yang Tian and Lu Yan met last time was a third-level wild beast. And the first-level cosmic warriors are simply ants, cannon fodder. Yang Tian is unwilling to be an ant or cannon fodder. In this life, he must reach the limit that Taixu can reach anyway. At this time, Yang Tian learned from observing Xian Yuan Longer state that Xian Yuan's sword had another attribute: it cannot be traded and cannot be damaged. It was as if it was really recognized and bound to the master. If Longer was a player, maybe Xian Yuan's sword would have another one that could not be dropped, Yang Tian thought to himself. Of course, in general, Yang Tian was still very happy. After all, after Xian Yuan Longer got the Xian Yuan sword, her strength also increased. After Xian Yuan's sword recognized Xian Yuan Longer as its master, its level dropped to level 180, and its attributes declined, but it was still of artifact quality. It was listed on the national server and world equipment list, and the first place on both lists is the best proof. As mentioned earlier, the weapons and equipment of NPC war servants are equivalent to those of their masters. It is naturally impossible for NPCs to rank up on the players list. For this reason, after Xian Yuan's sword rushed to the first place on both lists, Yang Tian's ears rang with system prompts. Anonymous. Yang Tian decisively chose to be anonymous. Wow, Brother Shui is anonymous again, what an anonymous maniac. He probably doesn't know that hundreds of millions of our viewers are staring at him. Everyone, just know it in your heart. Brother Shui has his own intentions for being anonymous. Let's not go to the world forum to talk nonsense. Well, Brother Shui should want to protect my wife. You definitely don't want Longer to be killed again, right? God damn your wife, it's obviously my wife. With Yang Tian's anonymous operation, many live broadcast rooms once again triggered countless barrage rhythms. However, they don't know that among these hundreds of millions of viewers, there are also a small number of overseas players. Even if they don't go to the official website and the world forum to talk nonsense, Yang Tian's strength and even Xian Yuan's sword will all be exposed overseas in this battle. Even if the name of Muddy Water will not be famous in the world, it will definitely be remembered by the strong in various war zones. So far, the highest profit obtained by the Water Alliance in this battle has been fully distributed. Next, there are 10 Holy Lights, 100 Fairy Spirits and 1000 Spirit Essences. These represent 10 Holy Kings, 100 Fairy Kings, and 1000 Spirit Kings respectively. However, Yang Tian looked down on these extremely precious treasures in the eyes of ordinary players. He was very casual. He handed all these things to Xiaomao and asked her to distribute them in order according to the contribution of the Water Alliance. Even Yang Tian consumed 1 fairy spirit and 2 holy lights, failed to evolve once, to make Tang Snake's blood evolve to the level of Holy Beast. At this moment, Tang Snake rushed to the National Service and World Battle Pet list, reaching the first place on both lists. Feeling the improvement of his own strength, Tang Snake was also overjoyed. However, Yang Tian knew that the reason why Tang Snake suppressed the yellow-haired green dragon in the ranking was entirely because the green dragon was still a level 1 baby. The battle pet upgrades very quickly. Once the green dragon baby grows up, it will instantly crush Tang Snake. In addition, although the Holy Beast battle pet is very impressive, it is not taken seriously by those real strong men. For this reason, Yang Tian did not choose to remain anonymous this time, because he knew that the top masters in the major war zones overseas would not pay attention to the World War Pet ranking. Lang Yu died in battle, the wolf totem was destroyed, and this Suanwu city was liberated. In the center of the city, a huge crystal appeared again. On the crystal, Lang Yu's name had disappeared and turned into an ownerless crystal. Whoever blew up the city crystal would be the lord of the city. In the end, Yang Tian blew it up personally and occupied the city on behalf of the Xianyuan Empire. Afterwards, Xianyuan Longer used the city as a basis and used the Xianyuan Empire's imperial seal to establish the Xianyuan Empire. Xianyuan Longer officially ascended the throne and renamed Suanwu City to Xianyuan City and established it as the imperial capital. Afterwards, Yang Tian Huangmao Lang Ling Long Lu, Xiaofei Kanyu, Shuangguo Haoshan, and others were granted the title of Lieutenant General of the Empire, once again possessing the rank of Lieutenant General and once again possessing LV5 Scion fighting spirit. 10 Lieutenant Generals, 100 Major Generals, 1,000 Colonels, and no limit on the number of ranks below that. This is the right of a newly enthroned emperor. The 3,000 soldiers of the Water Alliance all have the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and above. And tens of thousands of former members of the Water Alliance, although they are no longer members of the Water Alliance, have long been members of the Xianyuan Empire, and they are all now granted the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Wow, from now on, the Water Alliance has really risen. They have reached their current status when they did not have fighting spirit, and now they all have fighting spirit. It is hard to imagine what will happen in the future. Yes, it's not just that. Now the Water Alliance has only more than 3,000 people, but has more than 1,000 spiritual kings, not to mention Brother Shui, God Hanjian, Lang Ling, and other super strong people. Obviously, from now on, the Water Alliance is the face and benchmark of our Chinese theater. No more talking, no more talking. I'm going to join the Xianyuan Empire. Well, I'm going to throw myself into the arms of my wife Longer. Xianyuan Empire, here I come. I'm leaving, I'm enjoying this wave, the anchor performed very well and deserves praise, I'll follow you first anchor, next time you secretly take pictures of Brother Shui, I'll still come to watch. Follow. Leaving. 666. The anchor is impressive. In many live broadcast rooms, after a crazy barrage rhythm, they gradually return to calm. The number of followers in the live broadcast room soared, and the popularity dropped sharply. Everyone, take care, all the anchors said goodbye with a smile. They are actually some small anchors. After all, big anchors will never take pictures for traffic. And because of this opportunity, because of Yang Tian's crazy traffic in the Chinese war zone, they also earned a lot of rewards this time, and the number of followers also soared wildly, even once equal to some big anchors. They are naturally happy. Although this result was due to the traffic attracted by secretly filming Yang Tian. Xianyuan Empire, Xianyuan City. At the scene, countless spectators did not choose to leave because the battle was over. The spectators at the scene were actually from the Xinwu Empire, and that was why they were able to rush to the scene to watch the battle. Now that the Xinwu Empire has been destroyed, they have naturally become savages, and the original military ranks of the Xinwu Empire have naturally disappeared. At this moment, they are lining up in an orderly manner, with a friendly attitude, and even begging to apply to join the Xianyuan Empire.